My name's Artemis, and we all found our way here into this fandom somehow, didn't we? There were things that brought us here, things that we enjoyed, and, you know, a lot of life decisions that kind of skewed a little bit that led us here. But what exactly are those things that brought us here, and what are some of the things that contributed to our own little interests that brought us into the furry fandom? Well, let's explore. Now, the first and probably most accurate answer to the question, what made you a furry, is probably going to be poor life choices. But a close second will be the media that we're all exposed to when we were children. Disney cartoons, kids' TV, and even cereal box mascots have all been infected with anthropomorphized characters that will infect us at a young age about as potently as the common cold will take out the kid of an anti-vaxxer. Polling people on Twitter did result in people naming this as one of the more common factors that brought them into the fandom, including such works as Tony the Tiger, Sonic, Rocket Raccoon, Star Fox, obviously, Robin Hood, the Disney one, The Lion King, Spyro, even Warrior Cats. The list just goes on and on and on. So how exactly would these things affect us so much? Well, right off the bat, there's the easy on the eyes art style and the cartoon nature, which is obviously a massive appeal to kids. There's the whole idealized version of the world. Everything in these cartoons and these programs and films is so shiny. Everyone's happy and good always triumphs over evil. It's exactly what, as kids, we wished the world was going to turn out like. Spoiler alert, kids. Zootopia, pure fiction. These shows and movies painted a very idealized and romanticized version of everything, to the point that it offered us escapism from this boring, mundane world we're found in. And when you pair that with all the animals and animal characters, it's no wonder a connection was made in our minds. Your animalistic lust is one of your most powerful driving forces and motivators. And yes, I say your because I'm not burdened with such things. Some people came into this fandom first and then slowly brought in their sexual side as if they had some sort of delayed thirst for dragon dick, whereas others came storming into this fandom with all their kinks hanging over their head like a giant helium balloon of smut looming over every conversation. For some, the fandom is inherently sexual. It is part of the roster of their fetishes and kinks. Things such as mersuiting are seemingly exclusive to us, and if that's your first exposure to the fandom, it's pretty easy to then come into the more social side of things. Although it is kind of hard to picture someone getting absolutely ploughed from behind after a few sessions and suddenly thinking, you know what, these guys are actually kind of sweet. Maybe they could buy me a beer once they take the ball gag out. The variety of kinks and fetishes that are thrown around this fandom about as liberally as disinfectant after a room party is a very easy way for people to find their way in, and it's actually kind of a good thing. People are often looking at porn on the internet more than they are looking for the social circles that they need. So if they can find the social circles that they need through looking at the porn, they've actually got better odds of actually getting there. And hell, if they came here because of BDSM play or even raw artwork, and then they found the sense of community they've been searching for their entire life, then that can only really be a good thing. And of course, there are crossover points for some of these fetishes. I mean, hell, BDSM is pretty easy to transfer over onto furries if you want it to be. And then you got things like feet and feet paws, which, hell, just the crossover there, pretty fucking easy to connect. And that could really be the tipping point of what drops someone right in the fluff. Of course, the social side of the fandom is the most enriching part of it, and the comments I got on that little question on Twitter were overwhelmingly stating that there were just two key components to what brought them into the furry fandom. First was just liking anthro animals, and the second was that social side. Oftentimes, we in this fandom find a sense of acceptance and freedom that we do not feel in normal society. Probably because we actually give a shit about the planet and its future, and we honestly can't comprehend how a Kardashian is a fucking thing that exists. Seriously, what the fuck? We feel left out due to our wonderful weirdness, and seeing a community that shares our sensibilities and allows that level of freedom is often going to be the real linchpin as to what makes us feel at home here. At the very core of our being, we have all at some point struggled with feelings of loneliness and alienation, and when you feel like that, it's very easy to seek out the things that make it go away. The fandom gives that to us. It allows us to get that fulfillment from other people who know what it feels like to be on the outside looking in. It can even be things like just having other friends that are part of the fandom. That gets you exposed to the artwork, you see the cons that they go to and all the good times they share, and hell, you want to join in with that because they're your friend, and then, shit, now you got a first soda and you commissioned a suit. You're fucking trapped here, champ. Sometimes I look at the lives of other people who aren't in the fandom, people I deal with on a daily basis, and I have to wonder how they deal with the mundanity of their existence. I mean, when you look at the furry experience with the sociality, the freedom of expression, the cons, the artwork, everything like that, and then you levy it against normal everyday life, it's really easy to understand how we seek this place out and we make it our home. I don't really think it boils down to simplistic things like cartoons we watched as kids or even sexual fetishes. Honestly, I think it boils down to the things that we want out of life lining up with what the fandom provides. I mean, I can cite things like kinks and Disney kinks all day long, but the overwhelming response to the question, what makes you a furry, has been the people. It's not about cartoons we watch, it's not about things that turn us on, it's about the community, the friends that we make, the bonds that we form, and the joy that we see in this fandom and want to be a part of. Honestly, that's kind of beautiful.